Hello. Hold on one second. Hi. Sorry, I had a second. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so let's see. I think everyone's joining, so give me one second and then I need to mute. Okay. So I've got you all muted, and if you have a question, you can unmute yourself and jump in. And that should work just fine. Boy, it's still rolling people in, so I'm just going to give it a second. Okay. So what I am going to do, I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to walk you through some things. Oh boy. Hold on. Okay. Hopefully this will work. Okay. And if you need to have captions on, you should be able to turn them on in the bottom of your Zoom menu. Hopefully that can work for people. Okay. So essentially what I'm gonna do is my name is Sara Valli, and I work in the Fall Mountain School District, and I want to share a little bit about what our school district has done to help students be able to access all of the online activities that we're doing in this remote learning time. Oh boy. And I think I shared my screen wrong. I think I need to go back for a quick second, and because can you guys all see this window that has me in it and you all in it? Yes, I don't want that. So how do I change that? Nope. Maybe that's better.
I think we
Okay.
need to close it on our end.
Okay. Because what I want you to be able to see is fully my screen fully, just to give you a sense.
Yeah, I closed it on my side.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see your screen fully.
Okay, perfect.
Just hit the little minimize button for people who's trying to get rid of the other images.
Okay. So I want to start by sharing that we have an amazing technology department at Fall Mountain. And so what they have done, is as we moved into this remote learning piece, they created, and they were already working on collecting and making sure that apps that people were using were following with all the personal protection, the PPI stuff related to student information. And so they created a database where if any educator said, hey, I want to use this, they created this database that says, here, if you want to use these tools, some of them are under review, some of them are already approved, some of the, and so you could put in a request, and then Selena Garrison, who's our amazing AT integrator, would bring that to the tech department, and they would do some vetting and made this entire list of all of the different apps and programs that we are allowed to use within our district, and we're allowed to integrate into our Google Classrooms and all of those pieces. So that I feel like is something I want to plug in terms of schools doing that. It just makes it so much easier for educators and probably for the tech department too, because then not everyone has to keep on asking. You can just go and look. And then the other thing that was pretty cool is that Selena also is running every day of the week a variety of different tech trainings for us. And so if you have a department that does technology, which every school does, I would encourage them or you to encourage them to do this. So that we get a schedule every week. It's every day, the same training kind of repeats at 10 and at 3 or 2. And then there's also a noon happy hour discussion, and that's available. Anybody in the district can jump in there and ask our IT integrator all kinds of questions. So if you were trying to use something and you're not really sure, you can jump in there and ask. And then I've run a few of those for us related to the assistive technology components. So that is the overall piece. Hold on one second, I just realized something. Okay. Then what we have done is obviously many schools are using Google Classroom or Class Dojo. So I'm just going to share a few things that we are using that are helping a great deal with our students who struggle with learning disabilities. So we have a lot of different students who struggle with reading or with writing or with understanding different directions. And so what we were noticing was happening with some kids were just not initially engaging. And so some of that has to do with, well, if they struggle with spelling or writing or figuring things out, how do we support them? So we are using an app called Cami, and it usually costs money, but it is free right now, and because of this remote learning piece. The thing I will tell you is when you do log in the first time, and the link to this is in the Google document, you want to log in with your school Google account, because that's how it knows that you're part of a school. So once you have that, oh, it's going to ask me to do something, sorry. This allows you to take a PDF that maybe you've downloaded from somewhere or you have created, and it allows you to turn it into a document that you can then type on and write on. So I'm just going to choose this one. And the nice piece about Cami, there's lots of different assistive technology pieces that can work within Google. So you can use Snap and Read from Don Johnston. You can use the text help apps. You can use a variety of different apps. But what's really nice and that I like about Cami as a simple way for not special education, but regular education teachers to use is that this allows them to take a document and to do a couple of different things. So once this document, you've opened a document in Cami, it automatically becomes something that you can create a text box and type. And so students can type into a document anywhere they want, and they can also use all different tools within that. So if you've got co-writer, they can create a text box and use the word prediction within that text box. And so that's a really nice little tool. And I'm going to talk a little bit about showing students how to do that in a minute. But what I wanted to show you that I have used as a speech pathologist with some of my students is I have done some things like the students who really struggle with reading, right? So they can use, whoops, I don't want a text box, sorry. They can come in here and they can use built into Cami, and once you create a document in Cami and after you save it, you can upload it right into Google Classroom, which is the beauty of this app is that it interfaces really well, is that you can have it read out loud, right? It's built in. Oops, sorry. Maybe. I'm hoping you can hear that. So it is reading out loud, but what is almost more cool is that, sorry, hang on. Well, I see that there's somebody put something in your, oh, you can't hear that. Okay. I think that that's in a setting I have done within, hold on one second. I know there was a setting in Zoom that would make it so you could hear my screen. I'm just not sure, but we'll see where we're at. So hopefully this will work. So then you can also, as an educator, and as any educator, so if this was a science project, if this was any kind of a thing, you can put in a text comment or a word voice comment or a video comment. So if you have a student who really struggles to, if you have a student who really struggles to understand the directions, you can put a voice comment in and you can click here to record a direction. Hold on, so I can click here and I can say, what I want you to do is use the text to speech to listen to the different zones. And then I would like you to click into the text box that I put in and tell me about a time that you felt one of these ways. And then the student can click on this button and hear that, and it will show your voice. Sorry. So they will then hear your voice message to them that says, hey, this is what I want you to do. And that is often much easier for our students who struggle with written directions to understand than whatever you have typed. You can also record a video comment into here, and you can position your text boxes in advance. What I have learned is you have to put in a little X in there so that that text box stays there, or type something, type in your question right there. So once you've done that, you can then save this, and it will save you can save it into your drive, and then you can put it into your Google Doc or into your Google Classroom, and then it will open automatically in the Google Classroom with all of these tools. So hopefully that is one helpful tool. The other tool, or one other tool that we are using very frequently is Screencaptify. And Screencaptify is a very cool tool. I'm going to just open it up here. And what this does is it allows you, to record your screen. So I have used this because one of the things that I have experienced is that I have students who have not always accessed Bookshare books, or have not always accessed different tools that they're now needing to. Or so, for example, we are taking advantage right now of the Learning Ally free access for the rest of the school year, which is human read textbooks and different books. And so I have a number of students who just aren't sure how to use that because we do not have a paid subscription to that. So I can make a very quick little video using Screencastify and then share it with that student. So I have done this for a few of my students who are on the spectrum, who I have using some specific software to work on answering WH questions, and they've got to log in. So I've made those students an individual video that says, hey, this is where you're going to go, and see, you're going to click up here. And so it literally records your desktop, your browser, or your webcam. And then, so if I click here, and then I click record, it's going to record, whoops. Not, it's interesting that it wants to do that. I'm not sure how that just changed things. But. So now I can record myself while I'm showing how to put in a text box or all of those different things. And that is a pretty cool little tool. And I'm not sure why things are layering here. Hold on 1 second, sorry. And then once I stop recording, it should stop. I'm having trouble, I'm sorry, with my screen trying to do too many things. So then it stops, and then it will automatically load it into your drive. So, and you'll have a folder that says, you know, your Screencastify videos. The beautiful thing about Screencastify is you can go in and edit it, or you can automatically share it to Google Classroom. And so that is a pretty cool thing. We also have it set up in our district where we can have our own YouTube channels, and then that makes it easier to upload videos. And so that is another very cool tool. So see, it recorded my desktop. So then you can just share those. And I've used that a lot to teach kids how to use software that's new to them. The last tool I wanted to just quickly talk about is Flipgrid, which I love as a speech pathologist. So this allows me to use different videos, record videos, and share them with my students, and then they can respond in a video, which is really nice for our students who are not excellent writers, who maybe some of the assistive technology pieces are not necessarily working for. This works really well. Of course, my internet's going to be very slow right now. Of course. Sorry. Let's see if it works. There we go. This is one of the challenges of living remotely in New Hampshire, right? The internet doesn't always like us. So this allows you to make all kinds of, and it's very simple. So when you first make your grid, you make it for your different schools or classrooms, because they will be shared with a group. And then once you approve them, all of the students can see each other's responses. So in this little disco library place, you can connect. There's all these pre-made activities that you can connect with. You can connect it to an epic book. You can connect it to a variety of different things that are available as part of this. So I, for example, have used it to connect with Epic. I've used it to connect with Flocabulary, with the week in rap, or all different things. And what happens is you can click on these, and they're all pre-made. And it's a little video about something, and then you select where you want to send it. And then you can make any edits to make it your own. And then it's very, very simple. And then you can share it in Google Classroom, or in Class Dojo or wherever you want to share it. And then what happens is the students record themselves responding to the answer, and it will send you a little message that said, so-and-so finished this. You can view their video to make sure that it's appropriate, and then share it with the rest of the group. And only the kids who are in there can see it, so it fits into those rules of not violating the confidentiality. So let me see. Why am I want to figure out how to stop sharing. Okay. Nope, that's not what I want to do there. So that, I just want to open it up for questions for a couple of minutes. I know I went really quick, but it's hard to fit it all in 25 minutes. So if anyone has any questions.
I have a question. So on that Flipgrid, when you connect with other apps on there, do you have to have subscriptions to those
Nope.
apps?
Most of them are just available. I do not have a subscription to Flocabulary. One of my favorite things in Flocabulary is they do at the end of the week, This Week in Rap, and it has people rapping the news that happened in the week, and kids love that. The Epic, it does want you to send the kids a link and have already set up an account, but Epic is free right now. It's always free during school hours. So, my daughter's teacher is using Epic a lot, in that the kids can access tons of books and listen to them. There's many books that are readable. And then she asks them a question about what they think a vocabulary word means based on the text. So some of them you have to go through a process of signing in, but I haven't found any that I needed to pay for or anything. And they're all vetted, to be free for schools. Any other questions?
I'll tell you that I use Flipgrid all the time, and I absolutely love Flipgrid. It's free. My kids can respond to it. We use it for math. Also, the kids design problems. They explain how the problem is solved, and then we share it and even put it on slides so other kids can access it right now.
Yep. And I used it last week. I have a young man who's on the spectrum but is very verbal, and he was just feeling a little nervous about recording himself. So I used Screencastify and videoed myself recording myself, and then I put a sticker, because it lets you put a sticker over your face, and said, look, you can put a sticker over your face so that we won't see your face. And then I just sent that to him.
They can also record as many times as they want, so the kids can record, listen to it, and decide if they want to keep it or not.
Yeah, and that's really nice. In Screencastify, sorry, someone asked how you edit your video. When you go, after it saves into your drive and you open it, up at the top is a little button that says edit mode. And then it's just like editing in like the old iMovie or something like that. You can pick a little section and edit it. I am not 100% sure. Let's see, I'm looking at the. See, we've had, if you are having trouble with Cami, it may be that your school hasn't pushed it out. Our school pushed it out, so it's automatically a extension on every student's Chromebook. So it may be that your son, or I think you said your son was having trouble, that he tried to create an account instead of logging in through his Google School account. That has messed up a few teachers too, because then you're not linked into the Chrome account that's connected to the Google Classroom. Was that helpful? No?
One thing that I did is I recorded this because I was in a Google Meet with my supervisor. I'm an SLPA at the Spalding Youth Center. So I recorded it so that I can go back and review. Then is there an email that I can access to ask you any questions later on?
Yeah, so there is a document in the calendar that's right in that schedule, and I will make sure my email is in there. And also know that all of these apps are designed to be used by educators. So anytime you go to the help section, they have all kinds of little how-to videos, and Screencastify has done a great job sharing how to do things and posting little mini snippets of how to use their software. So
Cool.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Hopefully this was helpful.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks for coming, Lori. Bye.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks.
Bye.